All right, let's talk flutes. And I know what you might be thinking, probably some kind of old school classical music, right? Well, you might want to update that playlist in your head because we're about to cover how this instrument went from actual animal bones all the way to modern beatboxing. Yep, you heard me right.
So, seriously, do you picture the flute and just see, your school's music room? If you think it's all quiet and kind of stuffy, you are in for a huge surprise. This thing is basically hiding in plain sight in some of the coolest music out there.
Okay, quick sound check. You have definitely heard the flute pulling off these amazing jazz solos, or maybe adding this super unique vibe to rock and pop songs. It's what makes movie soundtracks feel so epic, and it's a huge player in folk music all over the world, and it even pops up in electronic music. It is way, way more versatile than you probably think.
To really get the flute, we have to go way back to its character origins. Just think of it like a video game character that's been leveling up for literally thousands of years, starting with the most basic gear you can imagine, and slowly evolving into the high-tech instrument we see today.
So let's check out the patch history. The beta version, literally made from animal bones, okay? Then it got some minor buffs during the Renaissance and Baroque eras, but the real game-changing update, I'm talking like a full-on expansion pack, dropped in the 19th century. This guy, Theobald Boehm, invented this incredible metal key system that completely rewrote the controls, and that update is what leveled it up into the super sophisticated version we have now.
So, you've picked your character. Now it's time to learn the controls. See, a modern flute isn't just one solid piece. It's a piece of gear that you actually have to assemble. So let's take a look at the basic controller layout.
It actually comes in three main parts. First up, you've got the head joint. This is kind of where you plug in, it's where you make the actual sound. Then you have the body. That's the long middle part with all the main buttons, the keys. And finally, there's the foot joint, this little extension that has the controls for the super low notes. You just snap them all together and boom, you're ready to go.
So, how do you actually make a sound? Well, you don't just blow into it like a whistle, you blow across this little opening here called the embouchure hole. And it's not about how hard you can blow, it's a total skill shot. Think of it like a perfect three-pointer in basketball. It is all about the angle and the precision of your airstream.
And just like in any game, there's starter gear and there's pro gear. The student flute you might find in school is usually made of something like nickel silver. It's tough, it's easy to play, your basic starter pack. But the pros? Oh, they're rocking flutes made of sterling silver or even solid gold. That's the legendary tier equipment, It's all designed for the absolute best tone and peak performance.
Okay, so you've got your gear, you know the basic controls, but let's be real. Music is usually a team sport. So let's switch over to multiplayer mode and see how the flute teams up with other instruments.
The flute usually plays in a couple of main game modes. In a massive symphony orchestra, you've got a whole flute section. That's like a large-scale raid team with 2, 3, maybe 4 players all working together. And then you've got chamber music. Think of that like a small elite squad where one flute joins just a few other instruments for a more specialized mission.
And in an orchestra, you've got dozens of instruments all playing at once. The flute's bright, clear sound has this special power. It can slice right through all of that noise. It often gets to play the main melody, basically becoming the hero's theme song that everybody can hear loud and clear.
All right, so once you've really mastered the basics, it's time to level up. The pros, they have a whole list of special moves they can unlock to make their playing sound absolutely incredible.
Let's check out some of these pro skills. You've got vibrato that adds this shimmering, really expressive effect to the notes. There's double tonguing, which is like a rapid-fire technique for playing crazy fast. And get this, multiphonics. It's like a secret cheat code that lets a player play 2 notes at the same time. And yeah, you can actually beatbox into a flute, laying down a rhythm while you play a melody. It's wild. So, the main concert flute isn't the only character you can play. Let's meet the rest of the family. You can think of them as different character classes. Each one has unique stats, but they all share the same basic control system. First up is the piccolo. It's the smallest member of the family, and its super high, piercing sound can be heard over an entire orchestra. Then you have the concert flute. That's your standard all-arounder, the main hero of the story. Then you get the bigger ones, the alto and bass flutes. They play more of a support role with these deep, rich tones. They all have different strengths, but a really good player can switch between them.
So it's the end game content for a flute player. Becoming a soloist? This is it. This is where one single player stands in front of a whole orchestra and just shows off all their ultimate moves. They even get this special part called a cadenza, where everybody else stops playing and the soloist just completely shreds, showing off every single technical skill they've unlocked.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's that the flute's journey, from a simple bone pipe to a literal rock star's tool, just proves that any instrument, no matter how old it is, can become absolutely legendary.
Which leaves me with one last thought for you. After all this, what's a modern song, something on your playlist right now, that you think could be made even better with a killer flute solo? Really think about it. You might be surprised.